Hello and welcome to Wisdom Forge. Time warp: why stress distorts your sense of time, memory encoding during stress. When minutes feel like hours, stress is time-bending power. Have you ever noticed how time seems to slow down during a car accident or speed up during a work deadline? This isn't just your imagination. Stress physically alters how your brain processes time. During stressful moments, your amygdala hijacks your brain's clock mechanisms, flooding your system with hormones that change your perception. While this evolved to help our ancestors survive threats, modern chronic stress keeps this system constantly activated, making some days blur together while others drag endlessly. Understanding this phenomenon explains why stressed people are often late or feel like they're losing time without knowing why. The brain's emergency mode: how stress rewires time perception. When you're stressed, your brain switches to survival mode, prioritizing immediate threats over accurate timekeeping. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational time estimation, gets suppressed, while emotional centers take over. This is why traumatic events feel like they last forever in memory, even if they were brief. Your brain essentially takes more snapshots per second during stress, creating a denser memory record that makes events seem longer in retrospect. This same mechanism causes time to fly during enjoyable activities where fewer memories are encoded. The frightening truth? Chronic stress can permanently alter these time perception pathways. Adrenaline stopwatch effect: why fear stretches moments. That heart-pounding sensation during stress comes from adrenaline, which does more than just prepare your body for action. It literally changes your internal clock. Adrenaline slows down your brain's timekeeping neurons, making seconds feel stretched. Studies show people can accurately recall events lasting 2 to 3 seconds as if they lasted 5 to 8 seconds under adrenaline's influence. This explains why people give detailed accounts of brief accidents. Their brains recorded more information per second than normal. The downside? Constant low-grade stress from modern life means many people operate with this distorted time perception daily without realizing it. Memory's time capsules: how stress changes recall. Stress doesn't just alter time perception in the moment, it warps how we remember events later. Stress hormones strengthen emotional memories while weakening neutral ones, creating a skewed timeline in our minds. You might vividly recall a frightening moment you slipped on ice, but completely forget what happened right before or after. This selective memory encoding creates time holes in our personal histories. Over years, chronic stress sufferers often report large chunks of their lives feeling missing or blurred together because their brains weren't encoding memories normally during prolonged stressful periods. The present vanishes: how anxiety steals now. Anxiety disorders provide extreme examples of time distortion, where sufferers feel permanently stuck in either the past, rumination, or future, worry, rarely experiencing the present. This happens because anxiety keeps the brain's threat detection system constantly activated, preventing normal engagement with current moments. The neurological result? Days vanish without being properly encoded into memory. Many anxiety patients report entire months feeling lost because their brains were too preoccupied with hypothetical threats to record actual experiences. This explains why stressed people often can't remember what they did last week. Their brains weren't truly present to encode those memories. Childhood time versus adult time: the stress connection. Remember how summers lasted forever as a child? This isn't just nostalgia. Children's brains process time differently because they experience less chronic stress and more novel experiences. Each new experience creates distinct memories, making time feel expansive. As adults, routine and stress cause our brains to chunk similar days together, making years fly by. The scary implication? The more stressed and routine-bound your life, the faster subjective time seems to pass. Breaking routines and reducing stress may actually help slow down time by creating more memory anchors. Digital stress, how screens warp our time sense. The constant ping of notifications creates micro-stresses that fragment our attention and distort time perception. Each interruption forces your brain to reset its time-tracking mechanisms, leading to the common experience of "where did the day go?" after hours on devices. Research shows heavy technology users significantly underestimate time spent on digital tasks because stress hormones interfere with accurate time monitoring. This digital time warp contributes to the modern phenomenon of feeling constantly busy yet unproductive. Our brains lose the ability to accurately gauge how we're spending our most precious resource, time itself. Time famine, why stressed people feel perpetually behind. That crushing feeling of never having enough time has neurological roots. Chronic stress shrinks your brain's time perception window, making you hyper-focus on immediate deadlines while losing sight of longer timelines. This creates a vicious cycle where stressed people make poor time management choices that increase future stress. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for long-term planning, gets suppressed by stress hormones, explaining why overwhelmed people often procrastinate on important tasks. Their brains literally can't properly conceptualize future time. Trauma's frozen clock, when time gets stuck. Severe trauma can cause extreme time distortions where victims feel permanently stuck in the traumatic moment. This happens because overwhelming stress hormones during trauma create ultra-strong memory imprints that dominate normal time processing. Flashbacks aren't just memories, they're the brain reliving events with the same time-distorted perception as the original trauma. Understanding this explains why PTSD sufferers often lose track of current time during episodes. Their brain's clock mechanisms are literally being overridden by trauma time encoding. The sleep time paradox, how stress steals rest. Ever notice how time seems to disappear when you're sleep deprived? Stress-induced insomnia creates a double time warp. Nights feel endlessly awake while days blur together. This happens because sleep deprivation disrupts the hippocampus, the brain's timekeeper and memory organizer. Without proper sleep, your brain can't properly file memories in chronological order, creating that foggy sense of time slippage. Chronic stress sufferers often underestimate how much this sleep time distortion contributes to their daily struggles with punctuality and deadlines. Flow state versus stress state, time's two faces. The opposite of stress time distortion is flow state, where time seems to vanish during deep engagement. Ironically, both states involve altered time perception but with opposite effects on well-being. Flow compresses time through focused attention, while stress stretches or fragments it through threat response. Learning to cultivate more flow states can actually counteract stress-induced time distortion by retraining your brain's time perception pathways. This explains why hobbies and passions feel so restorative. They're not just relaxing, they're recalibrating your internal clock. Cultural time, how society shapes our stress clocks. Different cultures perceive time differently, and these perceptions directly impact stress levels. Clock-obsessed societies show higher rates of stress-related time distortion, while cultures with more flexible time concepts report less time-related anxiety. The constant pressure to be productive in Western cultures actually creates time perception disorders where people feel guilty during any unproductive moments. Recognizing this cultural programming is the first step to reclaiming a healthier relationship with time. Time distortion test, how warped is your perception? Try this simple experiment. Close your eyes and estimate when 1 minute has passed without counting. Most stressed people significantly overestimate, feeling like 90 seconds is a minute, due to their accelerated internal clocks. Other signs of stress-related time distortion include frequently losing track of conversations, being chronically late despite good intentions, or feeling like you just started a task when hours have passed. These aren't personal failures, they're measurable neurological effects of stress on time processing. The aging clock, why time speeds up as we age. That common feeling that years pass faster as you age isn't just imagination, it's stress-related memory encoding. With fewer novel experiences and more routine, adult brains create fewer distinct memories, making time feel compressed. Chronic stress accelerates this effect by reducing the brain's ability to form new memories altogether. The frightening implication? Living a stressed life literally makes your life feel shorter in retrospect because less of it gets properly recorded in your memory. Digital detox, resetting your internal clock. Just as jet lag fades after adjusting time zones, stress-induced time distortion can improve with deliberate practices. Try time anchoring by setting regular alarms to pause and consciously note what you're doing. Digital detoxes help because they reduce the micro-stresses that fragment attention and time perception. Many report that after several days offline, their sense of time expands back to something resembling childhood's expansive days. This isn't just relaxation, it's your brain's time perception centers healing. Meditation's time dial effect. Regular meditation has been shown to literally slow down practitioners' experience of time. This happens because meditation strengthens the prefrontal cortex, time estimation, while calming the amygdala, stress response. Long-term meditators often report feeling like they have more time in their days, not because time changes, but because their perception becomes more accurate rather than stress-distorted. Even 10 minutes daily can begin recalibrating your internal clock. The memory palace technique for time recovery. Ancient memory techniques can help counteract stress-induced time loss. By consciously creating vivid mental markers throughout your day, you force your brain to encode more memories, making time feel fuller and longer. This explains why travelers remember trips as lasting longer than equivalent time at home. More novel memories were created. Applying this deliberately helps stressed people reclaim their sense of time's passage. Future time perspective, rewiring your time lens. Severely stressed people often develop temporal myopia, an inability to imagine or plan for the future. Therapy techniques like future self-visualization can gradually stretch your time perception back to healthier ranges. By regularly imagining yourself months or years ahead, you strengthen the brain circuits that chronic stress has weakened, regaining a balanced sense of past, present, and future time. Your time reclamation plan. Start with simple time awareness exercises. Pause hourly to consciously note what you're doing and how long it's taken. Keep a time journal for 1 week without judgment. Schedule novelty breaks to interrupt routine. These practices won't just help manage stress, they'll literally change how you experience time's flow, making life feel richer and more expansive again. Your time is yours to reclaim. Thank you, and let's stay connected. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If you found this video valuable, imagine what you'll learn next. Subscribe to Wisdom Forge and hit the bell icon so you never miss more thought-provoking content, practical wisdom for everyday life, the tools to unlock your full potential. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway or what topics you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning.